Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out how the greed of one man changed the world by night shift. Kurz gesagt after dark. No idea what this is gonna be about. Let's just see.
A bottle of shiny dust sparkles in the shopkeeper's hands as he rushes down the muddy street.
Oh, gold?
The man waves his hat and
Is
yells,
this the gold rush?
"Gold! Gold! Gold from the American River!" The sleepy outpost goes berserk. Carpenters abandon half-built houses, ship crews desert, shops close, and papers stop printing as everyone runs to the goldfields. It's May the 10th, 1848, and one of the largest migrations in history has just begun.
So the 1800s.
For the next years, this tiny village will become the most out-of-control place on Earth. San Francisco.
San Francisco!
The man with the bottle, Samuel Brannan, watches the chaos he unleashed. It's part of a plan that will make him the richest man in California.
Okay.
The edge of the map. 3 years earlier, Brannan is serving as the highest-ranking Mormon in New York City.
Oh, wait.
But
is the gold actually not in there and he just made it seem like it is so that he can sell a bunch of equipment needed to get that gold so that people buy it and he gets rich?
he's already planning their
I
escape.
respect it. I mean, if that's what actually
Mormons'
happens.
beliefs are clashing with the values of Protestant America, and their leader has just been brutally murdered by a mob in Illinois. Violence is spreading, and many are running for their lives. Brannan wants to evacuate his group west, beyond the reach of the US, and he's not the only one. In early 1846, he and over 200 fellow believers board a ship to sail around the Americas, hoping to build their religious sanctuary. They don't know that time is against them. The US government has its eyes on California as a Pacific foothold and trade post for Asia. But there's a small problem. It's not empty. Mexico has owned it since freeing itself from Spain
Oh
in
yeah, that's
1821.
true. Mexico owned it
And
first.
owning is putting it a bit generously. Indigenous peoples have lived there for millennia, but in just the last 75 years, forced labor, violence, and disease have halved their population from what used to be 300,000. For the US, this is convenient as a weakened population means less resistance.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
In
the
early
majority of people died
1846, US
just
troops
because of disease. I'm quite sure that's what killed the vast majority of the natives.
cross the Nueces River and start a war. Meanwhile, Brannan's ship is rounding Cape Horn, and after 6 months, they reach the village that will soon be San Francisco. But US Marines have seized the outpost just 3 weeks earlier, and the dream of a Mormon sanctuary in California is dead on arrival. Other men would be devastated, but Brannan sees opportunity. Many pass through a key stop upstream, where a Swiss immigrant named John Sutter has been carving out his own empire on stolen land, brutally exploiting the forced labor of native people. An expanding frontier outpost, but short on supplies. Brannan steps in and opens a general store right at Fort Sutter's gates. And in early 1848, fate walks into his shop. A farmhand pays for a bottle of brandy with gold dust. This news makes Brannan's brain light up like a slot machine. If one random farmhand has gold, there's more to be found.
Okay, so there actually is going to be a ton of gold.
gold. The trail leads into the Sierra Nevada foothills, where one of Sutter's workers has spotted something glittering in the mud of the American River. Back at the fort, it's confirmed. Real,
I wonder how much
pure
gold was worth back then.
Sitting in plain sight.
Actually, the price of gold has, I think, quadrupled, if not more, in the last 5 years. It's mainly just because of how unstable the world is right now and because of all the wars and everything else that's happening. But yeah, if somebody bought gold 5 years ago, they've made a damn good investment because it's worth so much more now. And I'm pretty sure the price is still climbing. Same for silver.
It hits Sutter like a curse. The gold won't make him rich, but destroy him. It causes a fever that spreads like the flu and turns workers into, well, literal gold diggers. He begs his men for 6 weeks of silence to claim legal rights and finish the mill he just started building. But workers are already starting to sneak off to pan for flakes in the river, and soon, entire crews vanish overnight. Gold fever is spreading, and Sam Brannan catches a brutal case. He delivers one last sermon to the San Francisco Mormons, because who wants to shepherd souls when there's a fortune waiting in the dirt? He rides out to the new goldfields, bottles a sample, and races back to wave his hat and stir up the city. The news ripples outwards like a shockwave, draining towns like San Jose and Monterey like bathtubs within weeks. Brannon is already 3 steps ahead. In his shop, he's gathered picks, pans, whiskey, everything a miner could want, and sells it at an obscene markup. While a whole cow costs $4 in the city, he sells a kilo of beef for $2.
I'm
Soon,
not
his store
sure
is
how...
turning over
I have no idea how expensive that actually is, because obviously $2 now, that's nothing, but back then, that was probably a lot. So it's hard to really say how expensive this is. They should have tried to at least show what the current price would be compared to what it was back then. Because here I'm just left guessing, like, was that actually really expensive or no?
$1,000 a day. Other sellers rush in, charging up to 1,000% over cost and getting it. Not long, and Brannon is making more monthly than most miners will see in their digging career. Instead of gold, Brannon mines the miners, and they keep coming.
Yep, he's just using people's greed
Don't
to
think
fuel his own greed.
Now that we've got you covered, back to California. The global stampede. On December the 5th, the US president confirms it. The California gold discovery is real. Tens of thousands drop everything and head west. They call themselves the 49ers, after the year they arrive, or Argonauts, like the heroes who chase the Golden Fleece. But California is hard to reach. There's no Panama Canal and no transcontinental railroad. By land, it's a 2,000-mile trek, lined with abandoned wagons and animal bones across deserts and mountains.
That's over 3,000 kilometers.
5 to 8 months through storms that eat ships for breakfast. Some try the Panama shortcut, sail south, hike through jungle, sail north. It sounds clever until you're vomiting blood from yellow fever while mosquitoes use you as a buffet. Meanwhile, the whole Pacific Rim has mobilized. Every major port from Valparaiso to Guangzhou sits closer to the gold than New York does. By the end of 1849, over 100,000 souls have flooded California from every inhabited continent.
See, I didn't actually know they were coming from
San Francisco.
Asia and South America.
Digging the dream. By 1851, Sam Brannon has opened an office in this boomtown and is buying up land in every direction. He strides through the dusty streets in a tailored suit from the finest imported fabrics, a cigar in his mouth, passing the brothels, saloons, and gambling hells. The people gossip about the many affairs of California's richest man. What his faith once held back, gold has let loose. The streets swarm with thousands of young men, armed and half-drunk, shouting in a dozen languages, chasing the golden fever dream. In 3 years, the city has grown from a few hundred to 55,000 people, many of them immigrants. And with almost no women around, gender roles bend out of necessity. Men dance in dresses as ladies or cook and clean, roles unthinkable for white males elsewhere. Brannon strolls past the harbour, barely glancing at the hundreds of ships left behind by crews who sprinted to the mines the moment they docked. Their dreams are his opportunity. From here, shipments bound for Brannon's stores are loaded onto boats and sent upriver to Sacramento, a new fast-growing city and main gateway to the goldfields, where he aggressively bought up riverfront land. In the foothills beyond, tens of thousands are tearing the earth apart like manic rodents. Hundreds of mining camps have popped up with poetic names like Murderer's Bar or Hangtown. At Indian Bar, hundreds of men from the US, France, Chile, Hawaii, and Mexico are crammed into a narrow canyon. Winters are harsh, food is scarce, and grizzlies so common that one resident keeps a cub as a pet because why the hell not? You can smell the camp before you see it, as no one bothers with latrines or bathing, using every hour to dig. Men get sick from the filth, but there's no one to treat them, as even doctors figured digging pays better than healing.
What?
The camp is scattered
they're
with
all
deep pits
insane.
everywhere, and the once Emerald River has been choked with sluices and dams. The miners use pans, rockers, or long toms, a wooden washing trough worked by multiple men. Shovelers load dirt that passes through a metal riddle into a riffle box where gold sinks and lighter sand washes away. It's backbreaking, repetitive work. Someone screams. A miner is standing in the freezing cold water, grinning like a madman. He just pulled $350 in flakes from one pan. That's years of East Coast wages.
Oh, wow.
The camp erupts with cheering, backslapping, and someone fires a pistol into the air in celebration, because most miners won't see a tenth of that today, and some won't see anything for a week. Next claim over, a white miner accuses a Chilean of jumping the stake marking his mining territory. A punch lands, Spanish curses fly, and a crowd gathers and backs the white man. Foreign miners pay special taxes just to dig. Non-white miners get robbed, driven off their claims or killed, and native Californians face the worst of it. At first, some natives work claims on their own terms, but as the crowds grow, coercion takes hold. In 1851, California's governor makes it clear the plan is extermination. The state pays bounties for their heads and reimburses malicious campaigns. What unfolds is systematic, state-funded, and meets every definition of a genocide. And not only lives are destroyed, the land is too. After the fever,
I mean, hey, it's all about money.
By 1855, just
It's
7
all about
years
the
after it all
gold.
began, the easy gold is gone, and the dream of getting rich with a pan is mostly
It's
dead.
gone.
In the following years, camps are abandoned and mining goes industrial. High-pressure water cannons blast entire hillsides into slurry, while mercury pours into sluices to trap fine gold. Rivers turn brown with sediment, fish populations collapse, and orchards drown under silt. As large mining companies take over, California's economy evolves and the state's richest man evolves with it. Sam Brannan's name is on newspapers, resorts, banks, and railroads as he helps shape what people later start calling the Californian Dream. He also dabbles in politics, helping launch a lynch mob militia in San Francisco and briefly tries to become a state senator. But in the following years,
How'd that work out for him?
manic energy tears his empire down. He starts drinking too much, and his court records read like a bar fight chronicle, assaulting a police officer, brawling in buildings he owns, or skipping bail. In 1870, his wife files for divorce, and bad investments are followed by worse ones. When Samuel Brannan dies in 1889, he leaves his children $2 each. For his burial, there's no money at all. He lies in a vault for 16 months before a nephew finally comes to claim the body. Once the richest man in California,
how do you
he's
mess up
now
that
buried
badly?
in an unmarked grave. Aftermath.
How the hell can you be the richest man in all of California only to mess it up like that?
Sam Brannan understood that the real fortune wasn't in dreaming, but in selling the dream. The biggest profits went to shippers, bankers, merchants like him, and to large mining companies. Most of the thousands that chased the golden promise of quick wealth and freedom,
and the people were just dumb enough to think they could get rich quick.
1 in 12 lost their lives
It's
on
like
the way to
gambling.
California, in the mines, or heading home. But many more stayed. By 1900, California's population had exploded to nearly 1.5 million, and it became one of the most ethnically diverse states in America. The human tsunami also birthed an infrastructure of agriculture, manufacturing, shipping, and finance that became a blueprint. Move fast, bet big, reinvent yourself. It's the same DNA that later builds Hollywood and Silicon Valley. But the prosperity is built on stolen land, exploited labor, and genocide. Between 1846 and 1873, up to 16,000 native Californians were killed. Many, many more died from forced labor, starvation, and diseases, or were displaced. Their population dropped further from about 150,000 to just 30,000 by 1870. And the land itself still bleeds poison. Of all the mercury used in mining, up to 6 million kilograms were lost, and some of it is still polluting rivers, reservoirs, and San Francisco Bay. It poisons fish, contaminates soil, and it will do so for the next 10,000 years.
Oh, I was not aware of this.
The same momentum that destroyed also built. It reshaped a state through waves of migration, laid the infrastructure to connect a continent, and fueled an economy that transformed the world. All because we just can't resist digging up shiny rocks.
So yeah, this whole video was just about greed, people being naive and thinking they could get rich quick, like gambling. Yeah, honestly, not as interesting as I would have expected. I mean, it's still a good video, just, I don't know. The stuff they were talking about just wasn't that interesting to me. Some natives got killed, gold got mined, and there we go, that's basically it. I'm also expecting that the price of gold will skyrocket once again, because the US and Israel have just started bombing Iran. So the Middle East is once again at war. Iran has started bombing US, or at least trying to bomb Israel, US bases in what? Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and I think Bahrain and Qatar. So yeah, overall the Middle East is chaos, so gold might start going up again. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.